Yo, hey guys, it's Drewberry, and I got the 2-drops this time for the card rating series. We're moving right on along. We got a lot of 2-drops in this game, so it's going to take a while to cover all these. If you're new to this series, just so you know, the way I got these card ratings is twofold. So, my own personal experiences, but don't buy into that too much. And two, snapfan.com. So snapfan.com allows users, people who are playing the game, to upload their profile, and it dumps all of their data of their win rates, their history log, all that good stuff into the website. And then it takes all of the players that have uploaded and develops a win rate for these cards when they're played. Okay? So I took those ratings, those win rates, and I created my rating based on the win rate. So let's say it was a 50% win rate. Well, you get 3 stars. And then based on my experiences, if I think it's not worth 3 stars, I'll drop it down to 2. If I think it's better than the 3 stars, I'll drop it up to 4. So that's how we got these ratings. Let me know what I missed on below. I want to update these later on as patches develop, stuff like that. If I totally missed one on the mark, then I'll update you guys about it, and we can talk about it in the comments. So I've broken it up to each pool. We got pool 1, pool 2, and pool 3, and we got pool 1 up first. Now, I'm not going to talk about every single card because there's so many, but I'm just going to highlight a few. So I'm going to start with Scarlet Witch. She's a 5-star card. The reason she's a 5-star card is anytime you can manipulate the locations to your favor, the better. If there's a location that drops that you don't like, then you can play Scarlet Witch and get rid of it. It could save you the game, and she's 3 power for 2. Pretty good on her own right. I do think she was better when she was a 1-drop, but she's still 5 stars even in the 2-drop zone. Alright, then on the other end, we have cards like Forge, Lizard, Cable, Domino. These are your 1-star cards. Now, the one that might shock you the most is Cable. Cable was really good when it was run with Double Dino and Moon Girl, that kind of package of getting cards to your hand, Collector. But that package has been nerfed quite a bit. Devil Dino, Moon Girl, and Collector all got nerfed, and Cable has just fallen out of favor. You don't really need them if you're not running that package. And you don't really care about stealing opponent's card from the bottom of their deck because they might not ever see that card. So it's not a huge deal. You do know what you steal from them. There's a bit of information there. But for 2 power, 2 cost, it's just not worth it. And then Lizard was buffed recently. Good for him. Still bad. Sorry. Forge is just a bit too slow. I know there's some combinations that he can work with, like Human Torch, Multiple Man. But ultimately, he's 1 power for 2. And then he takes up a spot on your locations that you just don't want to have him there. So I find more often than not, he falls short. And once you see the win rates below, I have some statistics that I'll get to in a bit. He doesn't do so well. All right, moving on. Now, the only thing I want to mention about that really quick, though, is the no effect cards. I'm giving 2 stars each time. So I know you probably noticed that I had Domino at 1, but I had Shocker at 2. That's because of Patriot decks. They are so good in Patriot decks, these no effects. So I couldn't justify giving them less than 2 stars. I felt like they had to get 2. Domino gets 1 star because she doesn't get that benefit, and she doesn't really have a positive effect. So she's just bad. Alright, let's move on to Pool 2. So in Pool 2, we have the Collector. But the Collector just got nerfed. He's got 1 power extra than he used to, but he only gets +1 power for each card that enters your hand, meaning at most can get to like 5, 6, 7 power. It's just not enough compared to what he was doing before, getting easily to like 12, 14. So I've dropped him down to a 2-star. He probably was a 5-star before that patch, but that's how she goes. The Swarm is a 5-star card. This card is good. Whenever this is discarded from your hand, add 2 copies that cost 0 to your hand. So you just get a bunch of Swarm into your hand, and it's easy. You can pick and choose where you want to put those cards. Buff your hand with Nakia. That used to be really good. Not so much anymore. Maybe Swarm falls out of favor, but it's just an easy discard trigger. Once you have a bunch of Swarms in your hand, you want to discard cards, but maybe there's 1 or 2 that you don't want to. Well, you're increasing your odds because you have so many Swarm in your hand. Bucky Barnes is great with Destroy synergy. Morbius is great with Discard synergy. Cloak is good with Move synergy, but Move package isn't as good as the other 2, so you get dropped down to a 3-star card. And Scorpion was recently buffed, and I think he's a 3-star card now. He's like actually worth running in your deck, when before he was a 1-star card. All right, let's move on to Pool 3. Now, we got a lot of 1-star cards here. The first one I want to talk about, because I'm really salty about it, is Adam Warlock. I got this card very early on in Pool 3, and I thought this could be really cool. I have Draw. There's like no Draw in Marvel Snap, but he's trash. He's 2 for 0 power. So you want to play him at 2 to start getting his benefit, which is drawing cards if you're winning a location, but you're not actually helping yourself to win a location. And more often than not, I don't get a draw from him. So why did I play him? he frustrates me. So he's really cool artwork as well, but no, he falls short. He gets 1 star. Baron Mordo, Black Widow, bad. Just don't like them at all. Black Widow, for some reason, has a decent win rate. I don't know. I don't see it. Daredevil gets 4 stars. I don't know if he's actually a 4-star card, but so far he's seeming really strong. I gave him 5 stars in my new season video, but I think he's more realistically a 4-star card. That feels pretty fair. Dagger is a 4-star card. Fantastic with the move package. Once you get her, it starts to become a little bit more online. You can quickly get her to 10 at least by just moving her once or twice. Mojo can get up to 8 power, but he's very conditional. Having 4 cards on each end of a location is actually a tall task and really dependent on your opponent. You could play cards like Viper that get other cards to your opponent's side, but Viper's trash, so don't do that. Alright, that does it for our 2 cost cards. Let's get into the stats behind these ones. Alright, so that does it for your 2 cost cards. Let's look at some of the stats from snapfan.com. So your top 5 are Swarm, Mojo, Colleen Wing, Mysterio, and Morbius. The only one I was surprised with was Mysterio. I don't feel like he's a very good card. Those illusions don't go away. Unless you buff them, they're just like dead cards on your locations. So I don't know. I haven't played with him too much. Maybe he's better than I'm giving him credit for. But otherwise, this is pretty standard stuff. The discard package kind of proving that it's one of the best packages in the game with Swarm and Morbius. And Hela is one of the best cards in the game. So there you go. Your bottom 5 are Forge, Lizard, Baron Mordo, Viper, and Cable. Not surprised. Those cards suck. They just don't have good win rates. Viper, I can see there's like a strategy behind her that you can maybe, benefit from. But I think more often than not, it's not going to work out or it's going to be too clunky and not consistent. So when you look at the star rankings, the overall, there's not a lot of 5-star 2-drops. Kind of in the middle of the pack and maybe on the lower end. It's pretty interesting because there's a lot of 2-drops in the game. So let me know what you think. If I totally missed the mark on some, if I nailed some, or whatever you want to talk about in the comments below, I want to hear it so I can make changes in the future. I'm looking for feedback here, guys. All right, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.